If you've ever felt like you've been hit by a truck when you woke up and you're just super sluggish and you want to hit snooze for the 10th time, I totally get it. I have been there before. I do regularly do this short flow I'll show you today, which then helps wake up my body gently and conquer the day better with a bit more ease. I'm Jackie Gith and I'm all about helping you amplify your energy and becoming your body's best friend without relying on coffee or the newest health fad. So if you want to up your energy and feel more confident and agile, then this video is for you, and make sure you tune in to more by subscribing below. So get on your mat for this first half. I'll do a follow along flow and you can do it yourself, the practice that I do almost every morning. And if you're curious about why we do these poses, then stick around for the second half and I'll go into more detail of how they are activating each Vayu and which other poses you could also incorporate to help you uplift one of them specifically if you have any specific ailments or things that you might be a little bit stuck on, and you know that if you wake that area up a little bit, it will flow through more smoothly again for you. Prana in yoga is the life force energy, so that's what we refer to as that energy field that's in everything. And the 5 Vayus are the channels and the functions of how prana flows through our bodies and makes us stay alive. We're going to stand flat on our feet, so the tripod of the feet are grounded, which is the mount of your big toe, little toe, and your heel. Lift your arches, little bend in the knees, hands by your side, and engage your core gently. Taking deep breaths into the belly. And releasing all that air back out with your exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. The 5 Vayus are in different sections of the body of how the prana flows through and functions in our body. So I always start from top to bottom and then all around. The Udana area is from the throat up. So we'll start to bring the chin up. You can open your eyes and gaze at the ceiling or the sky. Push your chin gently forwards to stretch that front of the throat. And then as we exhale, we bring the chin back down in towards the chest to lengthen the back of the neck. So really feel lifted from that top crown of your head. Now incorporating the breath, we're going to inhale, bring the chin back up, stretch the front of the throat. Feel lift in your body. Exhale, bring the chin back down and in gently to lift through the back of the spine. And maybe even sigh a little. Inhale, put the tongue on the top of your mouth. Exhale, sigh out, you can stick the tongue out. Twice more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Try closing your eyes if you had your eyes open. And exhale. Now to the prana Vayu, which is from your throat all the way down to your diaphragm, including the heart and the lungs. We're inhaling, reaching the arms nice and wide, nice heart opener. And we're bringing the air in and lifting up. This energy lifts us up. It travels up, in, and then up. You feel that little lift with your inhale. Exhale, we're going to round through the upper back. Grab your arms around your shoulders, tuck your chin in, and stretch the back of those shoulders and the back of the heart. Inhale again. Open up the chest. Gaze up again if you like, gently. Not as high as last time, relaxing the chin a little. Exhale, swap arms on top, rounding again, grabbing the arms around you. Now a little tickle of the arms as you release along your arms, because it's awakening the senses. This Vayu is all about what we take in. So we're taking in the air, but also emotions, senses, all the physical senses, smells, sound. Maybe notice what you're seeing, notice what you're hearing in your space. Exhale, again, rounding, closing off. And just feeling the touch of your own hands on your body, awakening those senses. Inhale once more, open up. What can you let in? Can you let more love into your heart? Let more love in from all sorts of sources. Not just your one partner if you've got one, but from everyone that you meet. Inhale. Then drop the hands gently by your side. Exhale, release. We come into the middle section, SAMANA Vayu, which is all about digesting, assimilating, and it brings together the upwards and downwards traveling energies in the center here. It circulates around here. So we're going to stretch that out. So we're going to engage the core a little, the Ula Bandha, and lift our arms up gently to the ceiling. So we feel that stretch lengthening through the abdominals. Little back bend if you like. Chin up gently. And as we exhale, we release the hands back down beside us, finding mountain pose, feeling nice and strong in the core. Inhale, bring the hands up beside us. Again, feel that lift through the center. Stretching, creating space for it all to process. And exhale, release. Now twists are really important here too, to help the digestion process and digest. So we inhale again, lift, and exhale, twist one way this time. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, twist the other way. Once more each side. Inhale. So what haven't you processed? Just taking a moment here, little pauses of what you can process in your life. Maybe there's been an event. So back to the left side, twist. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, twist. So anything to do with our digestion and our center, it's also about our self-confidence. So how are we processing life? How are we feeling moving forwards? Coming down to the APANA Vayu, which is the lower part and the legs all the way to the feet. We inhale. Again, we can bring the arms up gently to prepare. Tilt the pelvis forward. So tuck your pelvis under gently, lifting forwards. And then exhale, pushing the hips back. Lie down, sweetie. Lie down. Good girl. This is sushi. Inhale, rise back up. And exhale again, fold forward one last time. So it's anything that leaves, so physically it's also our bowel movements, our wee, anything toxic that we don't need anymore. Last one is Dhyana Vayu. This is all encompassing. So this brings all the other ones, the functions together. And it's your circulation in your body, the blood flow. It's from the digestion, we assimilate and then it gets distributed. So it's the distribution part of the function in the physical body. So we're going to inhale, the right hand comes up, right toes point out to the side. So we feel those limbs activate and the side lengthening, encompassing the whole body, engaging the core, and release. And then the other side, left hand reaches up, left toes point out, and really stretch out that side of the body. Feeling balance on the right foot, so you're really engaging the whole body for this. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, release. And again on the other side. Exhale, release. I generally do 3 flows, breaths through each section of the Vayus in my morning routine. So inhale once more. Exhale, release. Now just standing here with all that space you've created in your body, all those channels flowing freely now, activated through these postures and the breath and just the awareness of that area as well. Close down your eyes, keep your palms open, shoulders gently down your spine, length through the back of the neck, firm in your feet, grounded on the floor, bending into the knees gently, supported. There you go, I hope you enjoyed that. So to get into the nitty gritties of this, the prana, the energy, life force that travels through our body has different functions, and they're referred to in these 5 different ways in the 5 Vayus. So each of them has a different physical location in the body and a different function mentally, emotionally, and in the subtle body as well. So let's get into it. So the first one I'll talk about today is Prana Vayu, and it's all about what you let in. So it's the inhalation, the inward breath, what we are allowing into our life emotionally, also physically. And the area that you find this is from the throat to the diaphragm or the navel, because it encompasses all your lungs and the heart. So it's also about letting in love and experiences and the senses physically of your body. So smells, what you're seeing and what you're touching, feeling. Water is the element for in the subtle body. So it comes in and then it's uplifting. It travels in and lifts us up. You might notice when you start inhaling a normal breath, you breathe in and you sort of have that little lift up in your body. So it fills the lungs and then lifts us up. Now, if you may experience loneliness or feeling closed off or feel like nothing's coming in financially even, and there seems to be blockages of you not being able to receive well, then definitely take a look at some poses and things you can do in your life to open up space. So you're creating space for the breath to flow in, because as we exhale, the diaphragm pulls back up, pushes the air out, and then it pulls down to inhale. Okay, and back out. So making sure that we have space to let in the new and allow that energy to flow into our bodies. I noticed this in my life a lot because I was and am still in a really long-term relationship. I really love my man. But there was a time in that relationship where I sort of blocked other sources out. I noticed that I didn't allow love in from other people, thinking that was like not allowed. I don't know. But at the time I felt like I shouldn't. But then I opened myself up to a load of new friends and it felt so good. And one of the big practices that I did around that time was go to sleep in a heart opening posture. So I put a pillow behind my back and did a gentle fish pose in bed every time I went to sleep or when I felt I needed it. And that really, really helped shift that and activate this area, the prana Vayu. Now it can be a little bit confusing because prana is also individually the word for the entire energy, life force that we speak of in yoga, but this is also referencing in the Vayus, prana Vayu, the area that we're talking about now. You might be like, why the hell are you on your toilet? Now I just want to point out it is shut. But I'm sitting here because we're going to talk about the APANA Vayu, which is all about elimination. So just to get it in your head and memorize this is the visual. This area physically in our body and energy flowing is from here down. Its function is elimination and letting go and releasing. So it is the downward flowing energy. So it's also about feeling grounded and stable and safe. Because when we do hold on to things, material things, or even thoughts, and they're ruminating in our minds, or even experiences that we can't just let go of for some reason emotionally, it is because normally we don't feel safe, or we don't feel like there's enough abundance once we do release it and let it go. And I found this in my own life when I was traveling a lot. So before that, I did hold on to certain ways about how I thought life should be, or even just what I thought of the world up until then. And I really had to learn to let that go. And I really had to learn to let go of material things as well, and realize that there's always enough. If I am in need of things, they do come to you in different ways. So just have a think about how that might be relevant in your life as well. Now, any of the asanas for this area to activate it would be anything that's sort of grounding, stabilizing, standing postures, things that are activating the pelvis area. So hip openers, forward folds as well, like we did before. So then you're moving that pelvis and stretching that area. At the time that I did feel I was holding on to certain ways in life, I did also actually experience physically in my body diarrhea. So my body wasn't taking in the nutrients of all the foods I was eating and just secreting it way too quickly. And so even though I was taking supplements, I was still undernourished, and I was seeing some naturopaths to try and help that out. But yeah, it can both play out emotionally and physically in your body, and just noticing that and seeing how you can maybe activate that area for yourself a little more by paying more attention to those asanas. For this next section, Samana Vayu, I am in my kitchen because it does have a lot to do with our digestion. Its function is converging the upwards flowing energy from the PRANA Vayu that we went through first and the downwards flowing energy from the APANA Vayu. Those two converge in this Samana Vayu. So all of these Vayus working together all the time, right? You can't really separate them. They're all intertwined in some way. But Samana Vayu is responsible for that converging and making sure that the stuff that's coming in is processed, like with food, for example, is digested and processed in the body and then assimilated as well to go to where it needs to become energy for you to be able to do things. This area as well in the chakras, when we talk about the middle section, it's always reference to the self, the sense of self and the self-confidence and being able to step forward, move ahead, your creativity, which is a lot to do with your confidence as well, to actually head with your ideas and create stuff. To activate this area, we can do asanas that strengthen the core, but also invigorate the digestive system. So we can do some twists to help those bowel movements in the stomach area. In my own life, I have found as well that when I'm doing lots of core and I'm feeling strong in that area of my body, I do feel more confident, not only because like aesthetically is nice, but also you feel more agile, you can do things, you can move around faster, you can pick up stuff physically in your body as well, but I also feel the mental difference too. So I feel a lot more switched on and confident in my abilities, intellectual things as well. So I guess if your self-esteem is a little bit lower than usual, or you do want to just up your energy to be able to do things and take action and not be so afraid, then this is probably one that you can pay more attention to invigorate that fire, move you into action. And sometimes it's expressed as anger because you're actually expressing yourself in all sorts of ways, right? Creating things, again, creativity, expressing yourself. Talking about airflow, air flowing in and out of our body, that midpoint, when you're doing deep breaths, you might notice there's always that little space between your inhale and your exhale. And that little space refers to sometimes as the ether, so the element, water, fire, you know, all those things. In the subtle body, this is actually the ether, funnily enough. And it's because it's that space in between as well, converging the two together. So it's a space, that pause before you start to exhale after your inhale. So again, reflect on your life, see how this might be relevant in your situation currently, and if you can, wake it up a little bit through those postures, those asanas specifically. Udana Vayu. This one sits in the top section. So it's anything spiritual, perception. Those are the functions. And when we exhale, we obviously go past the vocal cords, and that's how we make sound, and how I'm talking to you right now. It also has the prana energy directed to the centers of our brain. So that's why it's responsible for the perception and how we see things, and then how we also express that through our voice. I definitely, again, as an example, there was a time in my life where I struggled a little bit, and I went quite deep into soul searching and what I wanted to do, and change of career as well, and got really heavily researching on things and just diving and trying new things. And I did practice meditation a lot in that time because I was longing for something before I did that deep dive. I was feeling languishing, so I wasn't feeling like I was expressing myself. I suppressed my emotions. I could feel it. I was feeling really low on energy as well, quite lethargic. And it was because I was suppressing what I truly wanted, and I wasn't speaking my mind, and I wasn't talking and standing up for myself in certain situations as well. So I went inwards, I meditated a lot, and this spiritual side of it, when you're in that realm, it does help you see things in a different light. So it does create that space in the stillness for you to reflect, for you to shift your perspectives on things and see difficult situations, like I said, in a new light and in a different way. And then you can move ahead or even just leave it and move on with your life. The asanas we can do to activate the Udana Vayu are lots of inversions and also throat openers, so fish pose. In the flow that I do, I stay standing and I just stretch out that front area, but also lengthen the back here for that meditation in the lengthened spine. Last but not least, the Vayana Vayu. So this one is all encompassing. It brings all four of those together as the fifth function, responsible for, bringing the body to life. So doing all full body movements can activate it. There's certain asanas, just like the side plank or downward dog, you know, the one that almost every yoga class has, but also just ones where you're using all limbs. In its bodily function, it's responsible for the circulation in our body, so the blood flow. So that's why when we're moving our body, when we're doing maybe a full body workout, a run, we activate that. Or even when you're having ice bath or a cold shower, that activates your circulation. You know the feeling. You feel like there's electricity in your entire body. You feel alive. You feel woken up again after that. So this is what that function does. After the digestion, the SAMANA Vayus function, from that assimilation and putting the energy into the body, this one distributes it. It helps with that distribution, with the circulation and the lymphatic system as well. And if you're a Tony Robbins fan, he talks a lot about changing the state of your body, so your physiology to feel more awake and alive, and that's what this one sort of directs you to as well. So using your entire body, expanding the limbs, standing in power stance. They've done studies where when you're using your whole body and you're standing, say upright like this, right? In a power stance for even just 2 minutes, it makes you feel more awake and ready to conquer the day. Try it out, guys. Use the flow that I did, or use some of those other poses that I've given you throughout this explanation to craft your own. And remember that if you need any more help with this, there's always a one-on-one you can book with me. Down below there's a link, and I can help you craft your own as well, depending on what sort of complications you might be experiencing, or if you're feeling stuck anywhere, or you're wanting to like up your confidence. Yeah, get down there. I am a real person and I want to help you guys uplift your energy. So to wrap it up, in each asana yoga flow, you will be addressing most of the 5 Vayus. Usually they are all covered, but if you do want to pay more attention to any certain area, it's good knowing which one will do what for you. Now, as always, be your body's best friend.